Good afternoon, BBQ listeners. This is Nigel Williams, today in studio with horse trainer Joel Sheridan. Joel, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be looking at today. Well, thank you, Nigel. Today we're going to be saddling a young horse. The first thing we want to do is safety first. Put on some protective boots. These are called bell boots or overreach boots. They help protect the horse's legs, front legs, from the back legs potentially stepping on them and injuring them. Sometimes when a horse is excited or nervous, it may lose track of its feet and kind of injure itself. So we want to put those bell boots on to make sure there's no injuries. The next thing we're going to do is basic groundwork. I want to have that horse driving around left and right, moving away from my flag, and being quite comfortable yielding to my hand through the body, head, neck. This is Horsemanship 101, so we want to see all these things before we ever introduce a saddle. Right here, this horse turns back and he gets a little nervous, a little excited about being out and about. I just want him to move around consistently. I want to show him a direction, and I want him to go that direction. He seems to be doing pretty good here, so what we'll do is change directions, and then in a few moments we'll be coming in close, working on specifically yielding the hindquarters. Now, Joe, why do you work on yielding the hindquarters? What's the purpose of that? I thought we were saddling them. Well, we are, Nigel. But what happens is we want to make sure that the horse is yielding as completely as possible. We're going to introduce a piece of equipment that is bulky and jiggles around and makes some noise. So I want this horse to yield its hindquarters, yield its neck very comfortably before we ever introduce that. We have the left hind crossing over the right hind right there. Wonderfully so. And as that horse does that, we're going to do it both left and right. For today's purposes, I just kind of kept it a little short, but we want that horse really comfortable. You can see him licking a lot there. When I throw that pad on there, he's very relaxed. Looks like he wants to bite you there. Well, sometimes he's young, so he might want to. I'm going to just gently toss my saddle on there, and just as he kind of gets curious, I can correct him with my left hand. I'll reach for my cinch with my left hand, go ahead and scoop that up. If my horse were to try and nip me, I could gently move his head with my left elbow, but I don't think I need to do that. I'll get that cinch snugged up. I'm not going to really ratchet it up, just get it snug. Going to get that back cinch there. You can see my left elbow just kind of blocks him gently. Then I'm going to move his legs around, get his hip moving gently. Everything looks really comfortable. And then as he goes out, starts to pick up a trot, I'll grab my flag and allow him to move around there. There he starts kind of frogging around a little bit, which is not really incredible bucking or anything like that, but he is a little bit excited, and I want to let him work through that nervousness and discomfort with the saddle. You'll notice I keep the rope very slack as he goes around. My whole goal, again, is just to maintain the direction to my left. If he wanted to slow down or walk, that's okay. Now, Joel, I understand that sometimes some trainers will say that the horse is learning to buck. Well, the horse already knows he can buck. It's kind of like telling a little kid he can't run, and somehow that means in that child's mind that he's incapable of running. Well, that's obviously not true. So the horse being able to move around with the saddle and get comfortable, as we can see here, is much better than trying to keep him from doing anything, which is why I do all my work loose. I don't want to tie this horse up. If he were to have done that little froggy jump tied to something, it probably would have ended badly. The horse would have pulled back, possibly injuring itself. So clearly something we don't want. You can see there the horse is a little excited and he's off on his own. Again, all I want to do is pick a direction and gently have him go that way. I'm not in a real hurry to have him go anywhere. I just want him to be consistent. So he picks up the canter on his own. I've switched there, just using my lariat just to kind of gently tap my shaps and move him along. Then as we come in, that horse kind of wants to face up, but I want him to stay out on track there. That's something I haven't asked for. We're going to look at that in just a minute, though. Once he gets trotting around here pretty comfortably, that's when it's going to be okay for that horse to come and hook on. That wasn't the best way to do that, but you can see how much that horse is licking. He really wants to have a relationship, so I'm going to allow him to come in, maybe, again, not the best timing on that, but I liked the way he was presenting everything. So, and that horse sure wants to be with me. You can watch me turn off left and right trying to lose him, and that horse is just happy as anything to be with me. So that's basically how we saddle a young horse and keep him moving, keep him happy, keep him comfortable. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Joel Sheridan in the BBQ studios.